Hello and welcome to SBR Tier 1 pre-season race around Spain. We've got the fastest drivers in this league all lining up, looking for pole position in qualifying. Got a short qualifying format, so there's only going to be 18 minutes. As all the drivers are just on their outlaps now. We've got the McLaren of Jamie Morris, who is going to be setting their lap first unless they let by Jerome. And he does. We'll watch the Haas driver here on his first lap. Around this track evolution is very key here. So the first laps may not be the best, but they'll progressively get quicker throughout the session. As DRS is wide open for Jerome here, it's coming down into turn 1, heavily brakes, down into 4th. We'll watch the onboard from him. Takes that curb very nicely as he tries to get as wide as possible. Looks to have got a bit of understeer coming through there. Comes down into 4th. He's going to short shift up to 5th, yep. Coming into turn 5 now. Locks up quite a bit here. And he's coming into turn 6. How's he going to take this? He's going to short shift. He's not going to short shift. He's probably lost a lot of traction there. He's going to take this. It comes off the throttle a little bit, now up into 7th. So watch Jerome here, coming through the final sector. In my opinion, one of the trickiest sectors. Taking that very nicely, to be fair to him. DRS wide open. What time is he going to set? He's going to set a 1:17 flat. That's a good banker for him. As Hughes Connor is now going to come across the line to set a 1:16.8. That's even better. Will we be looking at other drivers improving? As Mr. BT sets a 1:16.3. I think Jerome feels that he could have improved so much. As Ariel Mark matches Jerome as well. V Robbie, the Season 3 Tier 1 Championship leader. Winner, sorry. It's just a few thousandths of Mr. BT's time. I feel Mr. BT's probably going to be quite happy with that time, seeing as it is his banker.
Right, I am back.
Banker times are looking really good, to be fair to people.
Yeah, those are quite impressive, especially right at the top there. I mean, top 3 barely separated by 10 there. It's already into almost looking very, already it's looking quite close in the top 2. But I'm sure with track evolution here, it's a massive factor case. I'm sure we're going to see the times improve further on in the session we get.
Yeah, as I'm watching Kai here on his lap, he's taking turn 1, turn 2 and turn 3 very well. Coming into turn 4, he gets the fastest first sector. Feel like he's gone a bit slow through that corner. Probably could have gone a bit quicker, but he's now coming up into turn 6. He's going to go down into 5th gear. In my opinion, not the gear to go down into, but as he only comes off throttle a little bit, as he's going to finish his sector 2 time, he's going to get a 50.1. There's another purple sector. Is he looking to put it on provisional pole? Going into the final few corners now. Is he going to take it well? He does take it pretty well. See what time he's going to produce here. DRS is wide open and he's going to set a 1:16.1. As most drivers have come in to the box.
Yeah, we've got this Pyro on the hot round.
think Rudy is.
Drivers are either in the pits or they're setting in by his lap.
Yeah, Rudy's on a lap if you want to go through that one.
Very big section through. Let's see what game he takes. He's going to go down to fourth. Early on he's got to really come into it, take all the power. Ooh, nearly lost it there. He's taking it there. One into here with sharp braking zone. Left-hander. Says he set a purple second section there. A little lift of the throttle. Now this is probably the hardest part of the track. You've really got to nail this sector. Getting so much time here. He's bounced over that curve quite a bit. He's going to come across the line now. What's it going to be? It's going to be P4 there. Only 300ths of P Robbie if he's there.
Not a bad lap from him.
5 there. Barely second. I mean, tyres that have magical time, but between P2 and P5 it's barely a tenth in it.
Yeah, indeed. As I feel Rudy probably feels he can improve on that time by quite a bit, as he did make a few mistakes.
Yeah, for sure he's got time to pick up on that.
Yeah, as I'm going to watch Cameron here, coming on his second lap, see what time he's going to produce. The times are going to start getting quicker and quicker now, as track evolution is going to be playing its part. He's come down into turn 1, heavily brakes, he's going to clip the curb, he is going to take that very well. He's going to try and get as wide as possible. Trying to take it as tight as possible, but I can't, and now he's going to come into turn 4, down into 4th. Clips that curb the tiniest bit, very good from him there, very clean. He has a little bit of a lock up, which he's not going to be wanting to happen. But he's moving on, coming down into turn 4, turn 5. Oh, and he just invalidates by the tiniest bit. He was on a good lap there as well.
Yeah, that could have, if he had finished that lap, he could have got into the top 3 there.
Yeah. CPI Daniels decides to... Did he retire in the pits, or...?
I'm not too sure actually, I didn't see that.
Oh, Ariel Mark is on his lap. He's got it says he's got a purple sector 2. Has to come off the throttle by quite a bit there. He's 4 tenths up. Is Hughes Connor going to get his way on his lap? And he is. I think he's going to be quite frustrated by that. And CPR Razorback now goes into P3 with a 16.2. He'll be pretty happy with that one. As Jamie Morris. What's happened to Jamie? I think he's just had a spin. I think he's come on the throttle a bit too much.
He spun it in the last sector at the tricky chicane.
Yeah, I think he's just came onto the throttle a bit too much.
Put it into the wall, I think.
Mm.
That's not what he wanted to. It's not how he wanted to end his qualifying.
No. As I'm watching Razorback now, he's gone on another flyer. I don't know if this is his flyer or not, or he's just trying to get to the back pits as quick as possible. As Kai's now on his out lap, the provisional pole sitter so far. I'm going to go through the lap with him, or part of the lap. I'll go through the first sector with him. See how he takes turn 1, heavily brakes. Takes that curb nicely. Is he going to ride that curb? And he does ride that curb. Oh, he gets a bit of, gets a big snap there. If I was him, I'd be backing off as J707 now goes in provisional pole by 900ths.
Look at that top 5.
Yeah, it's so close between them. As we'll check the top 5 is all in a tenth and a half of each other. Mercedes are setting their dominance as Mr. BT goes provisional pole with a 16 flat. He'll be happy with that one. As we can really see, Track Evolution is kicking in now.
I wonder if we could see a lap going into the 115s at this rate. It would be difficult, but we could see it here at the end of qualifying the final few laps.
Yep, as Kai is now coming to the penultimate corner of his lap. He was only a few hundredths down. Has he gained time through that final sector? We're going to see now as he sets a 1:16.1, so he doesn't improve on his lap. Oh, he does by the tiniest bit. That's not going to change anything though. As most drivers will be coming into the pits now to change their tyres, go on a low fuel run. As Rudy is now on his flower actually. He's 700ths up. Comes off the throttle by quite a bit. Gears sound to be struggling. Comes down into third, straight back up into fourth to get that extra traction on the exit. And he's ridden that curb again as he comes into the pits. As Skip Butty's the championship runner-up last season.
He's gone into the wall. He's gone into the wall. He's lost it.
Oh.
Pyro loses it going into that uphill section, and he's gone into the barriers.
So you see quite a lot of people do that actually.
Yeah, ooh, V-Robbie gets fastest.
V-Robbie's really setting his dominance there.
6.
Gonna run through Skip Butty's lap.
Yes, I will. Right. So we're on the run down into turn 1. How much gas is he going to take?
Oh.
How wide this is? He's going to mount this inside third. Takes that nicely. Coming round into turn 4 now. Using all the curb on the empty. Keep it tight. Seems very good so far. Let's see, he makes his way up into turn 6 and turn 7 and 8. It's a very thick section. What gear is he going to take? He's going to go 4. Oh, and he's gone off there. That's been losing quite good time. He's going to finish the lap or he's going to back off. I think he's going to try and finish it. Okay, in turn 9. He's going a little bit wide. Needs to get this bit right. Does. Let's see. The trickiest part.
Oh.
Okay then.
He's gonna pit, yeah.
He's gonna enjoy that last bit.
Yeah, I feel he just made a bit too many mistakes there.
Yeah, I think he would have lost too much time if he for that anyway, but
Yeah.
he's gonna come in, put in the steps there.
There's some people are looking to come out pretty early. I wonder, do they think they're going to invalidate? They just want to make sure they got 2 laps in there as CPI Razorback is coming out now.
Maybe they just like some clean air in front of them, just, you know,
Yeah.
understand that.
Yeah. As Hughes Conner is now coming on his lap. But what I think we're going to see here is we're going to see some of the bottom runners coming back up the grid as Track Evolution is going to be playing in its part in this session. But because that seems to be what's happening in all.
Oh, she's got the spins. Oh, he's in the It's not good for him. He's down in P15. He really needs to improve now.
Yeah. I think Skip Butty thinks he can set a good lap, 1 lap, that will get him up the grid. But V-Robbie really has got that jump on Jerome and Mr. BT there.
Oh yeah, 4 tenths there at the top.
Yeah.
Really showing his face.
I mean, you wouldn't expect less from him. He's the championship winner from last season.
He's got to maintain that pace. He's got to show that he deserves that championship.
Yeah. As Skip Butty's has actually set his lap on the medium, so has he got a lot more pace in his lap?
Yeah, I mean the mediums, you can gain a lot of time on this off, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see him go up into that sort of top 5, top 6 region if he decides to switch to the softs.
Yeah, well, I mean, the mediums are... Yeah. Oh, yeah. The mediums are only about 4 or 5 tenths slower around this track. But it's still a huge gap.
Some of that time, he could go around P2, P3, but it's all about getting the perfect lap now.
Yeah, they're all going to come out soon to set their laps. We're going to watch who's at Red Bull on their laps. Is that Nyrox? Nyrox is coming out of the pits. Is that Hughes Connor coming on his lap as he spun on his last lap? He's going to come into turn 1, rides the curb, goes a little bit deep in my opinion, and he doesn't ride that curb. He's going to lose some time from that in my opinion. He goes tight through there. That's brilliant from him there. Traction is really getting the better of it now, as he's playing with no abs today, so as you can tell there, a big lock up from him, and he invalidates. Skip Butty's now on his lap as well. C5 rises back is 2 tenths up. This will be a good lap from him if he can keep it clean through these final corners. It looks like he did. What time is he going to set? It looks like to be the 1:15s, and it is. Puts him in P3. Mr. BT also on his lap. Has another great first sector there. Has to be said. No. Oh, unfortunate from him. Will we see V Robbie set a better time as he goes purple in the first sector? Clips the curb. Kept it clean through there. No wheel spin or anything. Mr. BT is now coming round and he invalidated on his final lap. It's not what he wants. Kai couldn't improve either. As all the drivers are now finishing their laps, we're going to watch Skip Butty's. He's 4 tenths up. This will be a good lap from him if he can finish it. Oh my god, a 15.5. He's snatched. But is V Robbie going to come back at him as he's gone purple in the second sector as well? The 2 championship fighters from last season, as V Robbie is going to come across the line. He's got DRS wide open and he does go in front of him. Oh my god, he goes in front of him by 300ths. That is so close from those two.
Have we got anyone else to finish a lap now?
Hughes, no, Hughes is backed off as well. Yep, everyone's finished their laps.
Yeah, that is
Whoa. That is an interesting qualifying, as we've got J707 in P11. Some would say the tactical pole position. Indeed it is, Scott, indeed it is. As qualifying is now over, we'll look at the top 3. We've got V Robbie on pole position with 1:15.5. That is a very strong lap from him. And not far behind him, we've got Skip Butties. In 3rd place, lining up on the 2nd row, we've got Shiz Cameron. And just on the 2nd row with him, we've got Ariel Mark. Then we've got Nyrox, CPI Razorback, Rudy, Jerome, Kai and Mr. BT. Mr. BT invalidated his final lap. He's not going to be happy with that, as he did have a lot of pace during that whole session.
to the race we go. Until this, from what we've seen in qualifying, I think it's going to be a very interesting race, especially in the first stages.
Yeah, definitely. As qualifying is also finishing in a tier 3 race. as all the setters, as all the drivers are just choosing their fuel loads, choosing their strategies. I think this is going to be a huge strategy game, but if you look up at the sky, it does look a little bit cloudy. That's interesting.
You see a little bit of rain. What would that do for the strategy? Race can be won or lost in the switch over. So it's quite interesting.
Yes, as it could, as the drivers are now going to go on to their formation lap. As Skip Butty just trying to warm up his tyres straight away. Are we going to see any disqualifications during this formation lap? There's V Robbie in the Williams. Yeah. So here's the projected pit stop strategy. It's a 2-stop. The game is saying a 2-stop. But I reckon some of these drivers have the knowledge and have the skill to just do a 1-stop. But we'll have to see if there is going to be any change in the weather.
I'm looking at the tyres now. All of the top 10 on the soft compound with tyres.
Mm.
We've got a few hard runners. We've got ILT7, P12, CPL Nicholas and P14, and Hugh Connor. P15 have gone for the hard tyres. So I think they're going to try and take this long, get as high up as grid they can. It could benefit them, but the hards are very hard to warm up.
Warm up, yeah.
Do take quite a few laps.
Yeah, well, if they're going on to the hards, that's telling me that there won't be rain for a very long time, if there is even going to be any rain, because if they're going on to the hards, they're going to want to play the long game. They're going to want to try and make up some positions. So, as V Robbie is coming through the final corner now, to end the formation lap. If I go on mute by any chance, just carry on the thing. As all the drivers now are just lining up on the grid. Pole sitter just coming into his grid spot now. What a view from P1. I'm sure Skip Butties is going to be looking to have a brilliant start here. But anything you got to say before the lights out?
Not really. I just hope they keep it clean, and I'm sure it's going to be a very exciting race.
Yeah, well, as the game is saying, as 5 lights are now out. 3, 4 and 5 lights. And lights out and away we go. Skip Butties does look to have a very good start here, as we're going to watch his onboard, and he does look to get the better start over V Robbie, as he's going to go side by side. They're both draining their ERS. Who's going to get the better of it through turn 1? And Skip Butties goes down the inside, and there's a little bit of contact there, but they go around the outside now. Skip Butties is going to have the better grip. I mean, V Robbie is going to have the better grip through here, as V Robbie does keep his P1 from Skip Butties. Is Skip Butties going to look to drive down the inside? No, he doesn't. As Ariel Mark hasn't gained anything. Shiz Cameron has dropped down a few positions. He's not going to be wanting that. As Skip Butties and V Robbie are now coming through turn 6. V Robbie has got the better grip through there, it looks, as he's gained a 10th over Skip Butties just through those few corners. As Skip Butties does go wide, that's going to be a warning from him. Not what he's going to be wanting. Losing a lot of time just from that. V Robbie now did have to come off the throttle a little bit there, as their tyres are still going to be quite cold compared to the warmest that they will be. Coming through the penultimate corner now. Is Skip Butties going to play the patience game, or is he going to play aggressive?
Yeah, I think Skip Butties might want to be just looking after his tyres, maybe trying to make Robbie push a little bit more to try and get into wear out his tyres. It's all to play for him, as you say, but Robbie does seem to be putting away his gap at maybe a second now as they come round into turn 4.
Yeah, well, it was a very interesting start there. Not a lot went on down at the bottom of the grid.
Yeah. One of the big gainers from that start, I'd say, is Jamie Morris.
Yeah.
From P16.
And Peas as well, yeah. Yeah. As Mr. BT is getting 2 positions, I think he'll be pretty happy with that. With that restart, with that start.
Definitely. I mean, it wasn't the quality he wanted to have
Mm.
on that last lap, but I think in the position he's in now, he can definitely try and attack and make up a few places.
Yeah, 100%. I think the grid's very close at the moment. Only tenths between all of them, really. So they're coming through the final corners now. Oh yeah, 100%. I think strategy is going to be a huge difference here as the undercut is very strong. B Robbie does the fastest lap.
Yeah, we do have Kai quite far back in the grid, 20 seconds back. I'm not too sure what's happening.
Yeah, I think he got some wing damage at the start of the race, as he did get a 5-second time penalty for speeding on the pit lane, so...
That's not optimal for him.
No. But he did decide to go on the medium tyres, so maybe he's asked for the weather update. We don't know, but it is looking even more overcast than it did at the start.
It's looking exciting.
Yeah. As V Robbie is just drifting away from Skip Butties. I don't know what happened there. Skip had a very good start to the race, but he's just fallen far behind V Robbie now. I don't know if Skip's tyres have like already gone or what, but I think he's got another warning there.
Yeah, I think he's just keeping it cautious now. I think he does not want to get a time penalty in this race. If he gets a time penalty, he will not be finishing very high up. So I think he's just trying to, keep it clean and avoid getting penalties.
Yeah, 100%. But there's a little tussle now between Nyrox and Mark. I think Nyrox is going to be looking for the move on Mark, but Mark is going to be looking for the move on Skip Butties. So could there be a DRS train being played into? If Shiz Cameron is going to look for the move on Jerome here, but they've all got their DRS wide open, but Mark is getting the better of Skip Butties. He's going to go just breeze past him really up into P2. He's going to look to chase down V Robbie now.
Skip Butties didn't really put up much of a fight there. I don't know if that's him starting to fall back maybe a little bit, or maybe he's just looking after his tires. I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
Face up quite easily.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're all on 3-lap-old tyres except from Kai, as he unfortunately had to pit. But his Nyrox is now all over the back of Skip Butties as well. I reckon Skip Butties is just trying to play it safe, trying to not get any warnings anymore. I think he's just going to try to save his tyres a little bit as well. As Nyrox is going to look to dive down the inside. Is he going to? No, he's not. I have to say, Mark is not being able to catch up to V Robbie.
V Robbie's loving all this fighting going on right now. It just gives him an opportunity to just pull away and to maintain his tires.
Oh, 100%. Its Pyro is actually pretty close to Rudy here as well. As something happened between Nyrox and Skip. Skip comes into the box. I wasn't expecting that, but...
This is some sort of stress on players to be at damage. No, he did not have damage. He's gone into a hard compound.
Oh, wow.
It's quite a bold strategy.
Yeah, I think that tells us there's not going to be any rain.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to do that if there was any sort of rain.
Yeah. V Robbie is still drifting away from Ariel Mark.
It's just a very good performance so far. I mean, maybe 2.5 seconds there at the front. It's just been outright dominant so far, really.
Well, a battle I'm interested in is Nyrox, as he's shown a lot of pace in this opening few laps, as he's gained 2 positions on the start. So, is he going to look to overtake Ariel Mark here?
Yeah, he's reeling him in now slowly, going into the last sector. I think we could see a move down the main straight. Oh, he's gone, he's spun. Oh, he's lost it and gone into the barrier. Oh, that's not good Nyrox. That is not what he wanted. He was having such a good performance.
Yeah, I think that's just the case of commentator's curse, to be honest, because...
Yeah, I shouldn't have said anything. Oh, I feel quite bad though.
he was looking very strong.
Yeah, he's got boxed now.
Yeah.
He's going to put him very far back at the field.
Yeah, so there's a battle between Jamie Morris and Pyro that looks to be building quite a bit. I'm going to be very interested in that battle because I know both the driver...
Oh, they've gone up. what's happened there? It's a safety car deployed.
Okay.
What's happened there?
That's very interesting.
I don't see any retirements at all.
Mm-mm. I'll tell you who that is going to help up, though.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
It's going to definitely help up Kai and Nitrox.
Oh, yeah, and Skip Butters as well.
Yeah, 100%. But Skip Butties is on those hards.
Life right now on the safety car.
Yeah, but Skip Butties is on those hard tyres. Will he lose positions from that?
So is Nitrox.
Oh, really? Oh.
Let's see though in the long game how this could play out. Are we going to see the leaders box now?
I think we are. I think we're going to look for them. I think they're going to go on a different strategy. But
Yeah.
I think B Robbie.
This isn't what they planned.
No.
Is B Robbie. B Robbie is coming into the box now. Ariel Mark follows him in there.
It's Mr. BT has had a really.
All the soft ones come in.
Yeah.
Even the medium ones too. Jamie Morris has stayed out. This will put him in P1.
It's very bold from him, but he is on those medium tyres.
Yeah.
All those medium runners are gonna have to pit soon though.
Bold strategy from this top three, staying out there.
As V Robbie has come onto the mediums. Is he going for the 2-stop here, do you reckon?
Yeah, I think he is. I mean, he's shown the pace, so I think if he is going to do a 2-stop, he has the pace to make that gap and make that time up after the second stop. He's shown that in the first stages of the race, so I think that's the right strategy from him, if I'm honest.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, if you just look at the top two, 15 places gained from both of them. We can't leave that without it going unnoticed.
Of course. Neither of them had the best of qualities, but I think they've made up for it now. I mean, P1 there for Jamie Morris is really good for him.
Yeah. As I don't think we're going to see too much battling from Nirox and Kai here, because Nirox is on the hard tyres, but Skip Butties has gone back up into P11, which I think he'll be pretty happy with, because although the safety car did mess with his strategy a little bit, he's gained a few places since he boxed, so be interesting to see what happens as Kai gets a 3-second time penalty. Race is not going his way. Yeah.
Under the safety car, you don't want to be getting penalties. This is the time you keep it clean.
100%, as I don't think the safety car is going to be in this lap.
Yeah, I think that's NY Rocks there. I think he's just going to...
Yeah.
He's a bit far back there, so we're going to see another lap on the safety car, I believe.
Although this could benefit the hard tyre runners, because they could have another lap just to warm up their tyres a little bit.
Warm them up, get them a bit worn, and they'll be ready for that restart.
Yeah. Well, I think that's one thing that's key with hard tyres. They need to be that little bit more worn to actually play into effect in this race.
Definitely.
It's Pyro doesn't seem to be having a good race. He's gone into the hard tyres on his strategy though, so
Could be a bold strategy, could be not, but...
yeah. Well, I think Jamie Morris, Pease, all the medium runners really, all the top medium, so the top three really, they're obviously going to have to box, so I think they're going to try pull away from the group and last these tyres for as long as possible, but
I mean, we have CPI Nicholas there in P4, 7 lap old hard. I mean, I think they could start, this is a time where the hards could, once they're worn in, he's put 7 laps on them. They
100%.
could be pretty good here on the restart, but let's see what we can do.
yeah, well, I mean, you've got to remember the 2 laps under safety car as well though, so
Yeah.
technically 5, but I think we're going to see quite a few people trying to jump the queue at the very start, but safety car is going to be in this lap, so I'll let you take it from here.
Alright, Jamie Morris is going to do all he can to keep that Ariel Pizzo behind. When is he going to go? It's like backing up the pack now, going into sector 3. Nice and easy through there.
He just wants those tyres as warm as possible, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does not. He wants to make the most of the safety car restart. Nicholas Remington warming up those tyres now. Into the last few corners. He's done a great job from RLP. RLP's got a terrible restart there. That's the Alfa Romeo side by side with him. It's the Alfa Romeo being able to move turn one. Let's see. Going in the back place. They're close to the move in turn one. Around outside now. And how they can see RLP's feedback position. And further back. They're going to rinse it. Well, we have to add time. Ariel Merckx going bouncing back there. So by the time CPL Nicholas is trying to get around the outside of that. And it's stay on the flat side. It's really Roby now. It's trying to run outside of the hat. Is he going to make it stick on the press on the inside? It is. It's a great hit from him.
Yeah, it really was a good start there. I think Jamie Morris did go quite late, but he did catch Pease off guard.
Yeah. B Robbie right on the back of J7 here. Is he going to go for a move? He's going to sit back and wait another round.
Well, I think B Robbie can just be quite patient on these tyres, as he's basically in provisional P1 if he doesn't spin, because all these other medium tyre runners have to pit. So.
And Mr. BT there was having quite the scrap with Rudy in the Alfa Romeo, but Rudy's just managed to stay ahead.
Yeah, well, we've seen Skip Butties and It's Pyro both jump up the grid a little bit, but Skip Butties, is he going to look to put Mr. BT under pressure? I think he's just a bit too far back here. Is there any other scraps going on there? Is not at the moment.
Still sort of starting to spread out a little bit here.
Yeah. Jamie Morris has still kept his lead.
Oh, and that's CPI Razorback. He's trying at turn one. He's taking the curve.
Oh.
Unlucky for him.
Was that just his fault, or was it?
Yeah, that was his
Yeah.
fault. He just lost it on the curve.
Oh, unlucky.
Unlucky for him. Hugh Connor in the face as well. I believe he had down.
He was the one who had contact with Mark, I believe.
Okay. With Jamie Morris is still maintaining his lead over RLPs.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you...
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was about to say the same. V Robbie is putting J707 under a lot of pressure, but I think he probably did get a warning there for going a bit wide.
Yeah, V Robbie's going to attack on every time. He does not want to be losing too much time behind these cars.
I think we need to point out the scrap between FRL Jamie Morris and RELPs, because RELPs has really closed in over this last lap, as he's going to be draining his ERS here. As they're going to go side by side. Sorry.
Right, so RLPs has got past Jamie Morris now. That is not what Jamie Morris wanted. He wanted to stay ahead there, but is he going to be able to fight back? He has got a slight ERS advantage.
As V Robbie is looking to go around the outside of J707, that is going to be a brilliant move if he can make it stick. And he just gets a little bit of wheel spin there as he's still on the inside. Brilliant clean battling from these two, but V Robbie looks to have the better traction on the exit. And V Robbie does get ahead of him. I think J707 just backed out of that.
Yeah, that's a wonderful move from Robbie there. So great side-by-side racing.
Very clean from both of them.
Any more battles going on?
Looks like Mr. BT is going to look to get in front of CPI Nicholas this lap, as I don't think Nicholas will have any DRS from Rudy, but
Nicholas has got 100% battery here.
yeah.
As Mr. BT has got 43%. That could help Nicholas.
But you also got to look at Skip Butties behind him. He's on 80% here. Oh, that's unfortunate from him there. Getting the 3 second. There's a little scrap going on though. But between the two Alfa Romeo drivers as they come into turn one side by side. As Rudy does get the move done on his teammate J707 there. Good overtake from him. Very clean from both of them, I have to say. But Mr. BT did also get in front of Nicholas. But it looks like Nicholas's tyres are just not there at the moment because he's had a lot of understeer, understeer through that long right-hander there.
Yeah, I think he's just going to be struggling now on his tyres. I mean, everyone around him is on much fresher tyres.
Ooh.
Robbie gets a 3-second time penalty.
Yeah, I think Skip Butties, he doesn't know that yet until he gets closer to V Robbie, but he's going to be buzzing once he finds out because he knows if he keeps it within 3 seconds of V Robbie, then he should be alright. But V Robbie's gone wide again. What's happening for V Robbie's traction here? Looks like he's just losing out a little bit, but he's closing in on FRL Jamie Morris.
I wonder if he's struggling to maintain his confidence. I doubt it, but it looks like it may potentially.
Well, I think Skip Butties is going to look for the move on Nicholas here. Has Nicholas got DRS? And he does have DRS from Mr. BT.
Could Nicholas send it here on this season? Could, nah, it's too far back there. It's just backs off.
As Seb managed to keep that position from Nyrox, as Nyrox was looking to challenge him into turn 1, but he just couldn't. I have to say, it hasn't been the race that Kaizachi and Hughes Connor both were wanting to have, but they've had to pit multiple times due to unfortunate things. His Skip Butties is also putting a lot of pressure on Nicholas, but Nicholas is just staying within that second time gap with Mr. BT, as Mr. BT is dropping down from J707, so strong pace being shown by J707 there. Is V Robbie going to look for a move on FRL Jamie Morris, as he did go a bit deep into that chicane, so that's going to lose him some time, but he got his overtake on his DRS wide open, but Jamie Morris is going to have the help of DRS from V Robbie. Is Jamie Morris going to look for the move? I don't think, he's just a bit too far back, and so is V Robbie, unfortunately there, but J707 and Rudy are having a good scrap here. J77 does get a 3-second time penalty, but there's not much where he could go there, as are they still going to be scrapping into turn 4. Oh, as J707 just rear ends Rudy there. Has he got any wing damage? I don't think he's got any damage from that, so he's got lucky there, but V Robbie, he's closing in on FRL Jamie Morris now. Skip Butties also gets a 3-second time penalty. That's not going to be good for Skip Butties.
These penalties have a massive part to play here. I mean, could cost him the race. Oh, CPR Nicholas has gone wide. It's not what you wanted there.
No.
Dirty tyres, and that's not going to help his traction either.
Yeah, I mean, it's Pyro's looking to put pressure under Mr. BT here. Obviously, we know they're both very good friends off track, but are they going to fall out on track? That is what I want to see here.
On track, on the racetrack, and Brendan is something. It's a different story on the track. Pyro not choosing to use any ERS yet. I think he's just being conservative. He's trying to pressure the city to using more.
Yeah, I think that's the case here. As Rudy has dropped a teammate by a second during that lap, as V Robbie is looking to go around the outside of FRL Jamie Morris. Did you catch that as well? Yeah. Oh,
IRT said he's lost it. He's just spun on his own.
That's not going to be great for him. He's going to be fuming with himself. But V Robbie does get FRL Jamie Morris there. Did FRL Jamie Morris just back off and let him by? I think he knew that he had the greater pace.
Yeah, I mean, Robbie tyres is 7 laps younger. I don't think really wants to be fighting that too hard. Oh, Mr. BT gets 3-second time penalty there.
Yeah, well, I mean, Mr. BT is 3 seconds behind J707, so I think he's just going to look to keep its Pyro behind here.
I wonder when these medium runners are going to decide to come into the box now.
Well, I think it's going to be soon, but I think Pease is just going to try drift away from Jamie Morris here, as they're battling each other here. But V Robbie does get the fastest lap, so it just shows his pace on those medium tyres. I think he just loses out on the straight line, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think it could be a setup thing at the same time. Robbie is low, very low on the RS
Hmm.
compared to the likes of Oriel Peace and Jamie Morris.
While that was happening,
Yellow flag. RT7.
oh, it's not going great for him, is it?
No, it's just going from bad to worse here.
Yeah, has he got any damage? Not from what I can see. But while we were talking, Shiz Cameron did get past Skip Butties. And it's Pyro's got past Mr. BT. Sorry for interrupting you, but I didn't see that happen, so...
Neither did I.
Oh, he's gone a bit wide there. Did he get a warning? I reckon he did.
Robbie is right on the back of Oriel Peace. I think we're going to see a move here on the straight. What can Oriel Peace do? Is he going to put up any kind of defense now from Robbie?
Well, Pease has about...
All of his actually. Let's see. Turn one. Robbie's going to send it up inside there. It's a great move. He's just gotten by there. Nice and clean. Minimal time loss. And Robbie leads the race.
Yeah, I mean, it was a super clean move there.
My bad. I couldn't see there. That was my bad.
Oh, no, don't worry. Super clean move there from V Robbie. Have to say, I think Pease's tyres have just completely left him now, but...
Ariel Mark and Skip Butties are having a right old scrap here. Ariel Mark going for the switchback on Skip Butties. This is great side-by-side racing. And Ariel Mark does get that position. Some great side-by-side racing.
Yeah.
Skip Butties lost his rear there. Is that going to allow anyone else to get past?
Oh, and he spun it!
Robbie's lost it.
Skip Butties had lost it.
He's out. He's out. Oh, that is not what he wanted at all.
Oh my gosh.
Are we going to see safety cars?
I don't think we are. Oh my gosh, I was not expecting that.
Wow.
As FRL Jamie has pitted, but Skip Butties is going to be fuming with himself.
Yeah, he did not want that to happen.
No.
It was his own mistake there, just under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, as he's now left the session, but he didn't really have too good of pace on those hard tyres. I think we both noticed that, didn't we, during his stint?
Yeah, he did look to be struggling, especially keeping the rear in shape there, going through most of the corners.
Yeah.
And losing it quite often, so obviously unlucky for him, but this is racing. Stuff happens.
Yeah, well, Ariel Pease is still in a second gap with V Robbie, so he's really holding out these tyres well. To be fair to him, I think we're going to have to give him some credit to that. But Rudy has just ditched his teammate. Now, my question is it's Pyro's tyres going to come into play compared to J707's? Because J707 is on 17 lap old mediums and its Pyro is on hards, and this is when the hards will come into play. But who is that who's spun down at the bottom of the grid? That is Nicholas again.
He has got damage, so did he make contact with someone?
I think he just did that on his own, to be honest, because I saw Hughes kind of coming past him, so I think I'm going to have to watch the replay for that one, but...
Box sets the fastest lap on a hard compounded tyre.
Yeah, it's just showing how...
The hards becoming the better race tyre now,
Yeah, 100%, 100%, but its Pyro is closing on J707 now, so it's going to be interesting. In a few laps, I think he's going to be right up his rear of the car, but... I'm surprised how close Pease is to V Robbie, because his tyres are slowly going to start dying off, but then at the same time V Robbie is on 11 lap old medium, so he's probably just playing it conservative and trying to save his tyres.
I would not be surprised if he could potentially get on for P2. It would win maybe if he could push. But yeah, he's kept it very clean in this race, no penalties, and he's right up there.
Who is that? Sorry, I wasn't exactly watching.
Rudy there in Alpha.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, he's shown exceptional pace compared to his teammate there, as he's on 12 lap old medium, so I think he is going to get the jump on Peas when Peas does eventually box. But if he does get a podium, he is going to be invited to this party afterwards, and we're going to give the podium places interviews. So it's going to be interesting to see what their calls were when the safety car did come out. I think it has to be said. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, I think it has to be said they're both going to get some good finishes here if they keep it clean. But if we look at the penalties, both Mr. BT and its Pyro both have a 3-second time penalty. But you can see how much those hard tyres are so much better compared to J707's 19 lap old medium, as he's gained about a second in a few laps. So yeah, I think it was the best call. Yeah, 100%. It's not going to go unnoticed at all. But I think he's missed out on that podium place. But I think he's gained 15 places in this race. Yeah, it really is.
He's really pushing Robbie in this lap. Robbie's basically out of factory. He's really forcing Robbie to try and force Robbie into a mistake, try and have trust. Yeah, let's see what he does with strategy as well. Oh, he doesn't have a penalty. That is not what he wanted.
No. Well, I think he was out of the podium place due to his strategy, but I think he's probably going to go for the fastest lap. He's going to try go for the softs.
100%,
J707 did come down into 11th place, and it's not like he's close either. Yeah, indeed. It's been a very intense, but also a very quiet and calm race. It has to be said.
Not too many incidents really in terms of crashes, etc. We've only had the 2 DNFs. At least anything in there, but the race was
Yeah, well, I mean, what else do you expect? Tier 1 drivers are the quickest drivers in this league. They're obviously they've been put in Tier 1 for a reason, and they're obviously showing why.
Sorry to interrupt you, Robbie. I saw him struggling with tyres there, but you're all loose.
Oh, really? Maybe.
I saw him losing the end part.
And RLPs is still staying out. This is incredible tyre saving from him.
I'm not going to say that it's not happening. If you imagine making mistakes, it won't happen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's going to be boxing in the next few laps in my opinion, but Norwich gets his 3-second time penalty. Nyrox was looking for a good finish here as he's caught up to Mr. BT. He's on... Yeah. He's going to look to send it up the inside. He's not. He's going to stay patient here, as patience is key in league racing.
Coming onto this small DRS right now after the next few corners, Mr. BT will have DRS in the tyres, so I think he might be able to stay ahead using that to his advantage.
Yeah, well, I think its Pyro will be looking to to catch up to Rudy, as Rudy is on very old.
Yellow flag. Got yellow flags.
Yeah, and it's a full safety car. This is going to help out Peas so much.
That's CPR Nicholas.
Yeah,
RLPs. Oh my goodness.
as V Robbie is also diving into the pits.
Yeah, RLPs is fine. What's up in
100%. I mean,
if he didn't have that second penalty, he could be on for the win. I think with that 3 seconds, he's going to have to push that hell on the safety car restart.
yeah, well, I mean, he's shown incredible pace.
Has Robbie been held in the pits?
Oh no, he's just had a little bit of a glitch. No, it happened to me as well, yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Peas showed incredible pace on those very old tyres. Will he be able to take that 3 seconds?
If he can do that on the mediums, I wouldn't be surprised if he can make that happen as well.
I'm not surprised if he will, but V Robbie is showing incredible pace as well. He stayed in the same position, so
Yeah, also Rudy here behind. Don't count him out. He's got no penalties. If he can
yeah.
keep behind these top 2, he could get himself through.
Yeah, 100%, especially as he's on those fresh softs, but the top 5 drivers have all come onto fresh softs, so it is just going to get so close now between these drivers.
Yeah, it's just going to be like this to the end, I think, really.
Yeah. I think it's interesting that there's a safety car actually, like during this late of a period, because if I was some drivers, I'd really be putting my aggressive hat on and just sending it up the inside of CPR Razorback. I reckon he got a warning from just going wide there.
You get warnings for everything.
Yeah.
Can't be on the ride anywhere, really. Even in safety. Yeah.
Oh, it is just horrible when you do get a warning under safety car or even a penalty. It's happened to me multiple times. It's happened to many drivers. It's annoying because you've wasted a warning, really.
You're not gaining an advantage, and you might have just accidentally gone wide.
Yeah.
By mistake, pure mistake, and getting more inside and more the safety car. They still themselves to give you a warning. Obviously, it's silly. The game shouldn't really do that, but you have to factor that in when you're racing.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a lot of strategies for different, not just pit stop strategies, just strategies overall for different tracks, different, you know, it's just how you drive, really, what your drive style is like. I'm gonna watch for when V Robbie goes on the start, but then as soon as he goes, I'm gonna look at Peas, because he's gonna be wanting to put pressure on V Robbie straight away.
I think Rudy is trying to gain a little bit of fuel, get all the advantages he can.
Oh yeah.
He's been revving the engine this entire race.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think he's also just trying to warm up his engine, maybe, I'm not sure.
Yeah, true.
But
I mean, anytime game there's something here in Formula 1,
yeah. Well, that's it. Fuel can be a big difference here, as just in the game in general, because without fuel, the quicker you're going to be, the lighter your car is going to be. It's just the better it's going to feel, really.
Even more crucial in the last stages, especially the tank is just starting to run out. The car is fast as lightest, and the safe start is.
All right, I'll go quiet.
Thank you. So, Robbie in the lead for this race. He needs to push as best as he can to try and get away from RLPs and really behind before it's too restricted. When will he go? When will he decide to fight aggressively? RLPs wide and happening. He does not want to lose any time in this restart. He only something an entrance standpoint. What? That's some safety car from safety car restart from the Robbie.
Yeah, he's nowhere to be seen in P's perspective, but I'm not sure what happened to Mr. BT on the restart because he dropped about a second and a half, 2 seconds from its pyro.
Start mistake there. During the last section. Got yellow flags. That's a Ferrari. Was it? No,
Now it's McLaren.
Jamie Morris.
I think Jamie Morris's race was good when he was on that strategy, but I think it's just gone to worse, really.
He's not
No, well, I mean, I know how quick he can be. I think Spain is just one of those tracks he's not very confident at, as I think he did state in the Discord. Yeah. Well, Rudy is still in for the win here, actually. If he can get past RELPs and just keep in that 3 seconds of V Robbie and not get a time penalty, he is in for the race win.
He has kept it clean since Paris. He's kept it nicely close.
Yeah, I think he knew his race was over.
Really has kept it clean since Paris. I think he fully deserves it.
And I think, yeah, he's just been so consistent. I mean, I would feel bad for V Robbie as he's drove his heart out today, but Rudy has drove so consistently today. I think. Oh!
What's happened? He's lost it and gone to the wall. Oh, that is. He's just lost it into that uphill corner and gone to the wall.
Wow.
We're not going to get another safety car because the game does not put safety cars that close to each other yet.
Wow.
That is very interesting.
I was not expecting that as Miss Pyro has drove a brilliant race, to be fair, from P. I think he was P13 on the grid.
Yeah, he's having a wonderful race. It's just unlucky for him. Also, just looking at the order and penalties, I think SHZ Cameron should be on for a podium because he's got Mr. BT in front with 3 seconds and then Cruz with 9 seconds.
Yeah, well, don't count him out.
Should be on for a podium.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's on those medium tyres though, so he is going to have that little bit of a difference towards the soft runners, but well, I mean, if someone crashes in this lap or the next lap, a safety car could come out, but I don't think it will because of how many laps there will be left. The game will not make yeah.
I doubt there'd be a safety car 3 laps ago. This is not Abu Dhabi.
No, yeah.
I've seen it 4 or 5 laps before the game, which is
Yeah.
now, but I've never seen it after.
No, yeah, I think the game never. I don't. Always V Robbie gets a 6-second time penalty. Rudy really is on for the win here.
Oh my god, yeah, I think that's just helping even more.
I bet Rudy's heart is racing right now as he just needs to keep it clean in these final laps.
Single penalty. Currently, he doesn't want to, but he could afford a 3-second time penalty at this stage. He's going to make another pick on RLPs there. With the DRS, he just shoot, easy, and he's in for P2.
Unfortunately, I couldn't catch that overtake, but I just saw him breeze past him.
Just with the DRS advantage is easy as you like for him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Rudy got the fastest fastest sector 1. Sorry. And he's really just pushing V Robbie now as he's got a little bit of clean air now, but it's going to be under the dirty air.
He's nearly gained over 2 tenths on Robbie though, just in that first part of that.
If he keeps it clean, if he doesn't have any messes, if he doesn't mess up at all, should be alright.
What he wants to do is keep it on the track. Don't get any penalties. That is the aim for him. Just keep it clean, basically.
Yeah, 100%, I agree with you. But it has been such an interesting race as Kai unfortunately gets another 3-second time penalty. His race, in my opinion, is over.
Yeah, I think that's going to seem out of points there. Yeah, that's going to seem out of points.
Yeah, well,
and SHZ Cameron Dowd, Pyro, NY Rocks is going on a move on Mr. BT into turn 1, and that is a wonderful intake with bit of contact there, but NY Rocks with the DRS got rises to his right, and Mr. BT having just no, it wasn't the best there from him. I think it was 2 faces and 1 corner basically, but at the same time he has only got 3 seconds, so he will get that place back on the
well, I think Shiz Cameron is also on for a podium. Don't count out Mr. BT to come 4th because of penalties. As Narox gets another 3 seconds. Oh! Yeah, I think that's the 3rd or 4th time he's done that today. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Cameron is on for P2. If he can keep this gap now. If he loses any more time, he has to stay within the 6-second gap to the leader, which he is just about in.
Oh.
Just as I say. Just as I say. Oh, Ariel, please, is re-overtaking Ruby.
Well, he just breezed straight past him.
With the penalties, it really doesn't make much of a difference, but
no.
He just wants to have that on track, really.
Yeah, well, I mean, Rudy is just going to try keep it on track, as he only needs to stay within 6 seconds of V Robbie without a penalty to
Yeah. I think Robbie should be safe now for a podium place in this race.
They're saying they can't hear you.
Can they not?
Apparently not.
Jake, I've been singing my heart out all week. Oh god. I'm going home.
Oh dear.
Well, you've heard me, which is, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna cry. I'm actually gonna cry. I'm gonna cry myself to sleep. Oh, it's fine, man. I'll just save that clip and everyone can listen to my beautiful voice.
As Rudy is just keeping him within that 1 second to keep that DRS on RELPs, but I think RELPs could still have a good result here actually. I think he is on for a P3 if he just ups the pace a little bit more.
I'm sorry, I'm just really disappointed in myself right now. Oh well.
Voice needs to be shared. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, I've done it now. But,
please comment if you can hear him now.
Yeah, it should be now.
Sorry about that, everyone.
That's actually quite annoying, that, because when I've been doing the lap rundowns on quali, they've just heard silence.
And the safety car restarts.
Yeah, oh Jesus! I had it on for like the past month. Why is it just magically turned off on its own? Honestly, I always have this on because I stream so regularly when I do league races, and it just does it by itself. I've never turned it off. I've always had it on. It's just quite annoying now.
Oh well.
What can you do?
Exactly.
At least I'm here for the final lap.
Yeah, as they're coming on to their final, well, they are on their final lap now. Rudy really just needs to keep it clean through here as his tyres will start to be wearing off now, but the top 3 are all, well, the top 10 are all on 8 lap old mediums and softs, but Rudy is keeping it very clean behind RELPs. I think he is. If he can keep it clean, he will take that P1 from Free Robbie. Let's knock on wood, because I don't want to jinx him as you did during qualifying.
I've done it too many times. Even if no one heard me, I've done it too many times.
As we'll watch V Robbie come through the final few corners now. He has drove brilliantly, in my opinion.
He's just been really unlucky with his time penalties. I think if he had one less penalty, he would have been on for this victory.
Yeah,
but
well, I mean,
doesn't.
Yeah, well, I mean, the championship winner from Tier 1 last season is going to come across the line now to take P1 in the Spanish Grand Prix. But is Rudy going to take P1 from him? And he does. Rudy wins the pre-season Spanish Grand Prix.
Cameron is on for a P3 here.
Yeah, I have to say though, my driver of the day is Ariel Pease.
Yes, yes, I completely agree.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a debate.
No.
That's, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean,
yeah,
penalties happen. Penalties happen, and it's unfortunate, but I'm going to invite all these drivers. I'm going to ask them if they want an interview.
Yeah. Just gonna quickly cry to myself. That's actually a bloody balls my heart out here coming to this season.
Who is the other podium sitter? Rudy.
Yeah, Rudy, the race winner.
Oh, that was such an interesting race. As we're gonna see if they want an interview. If not, we will end the stream. But
I have to say, I did enjoy that race quite much.
Yeah, well, it just shows pace from these top drivers.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
hopefully,
these guys obviously tier 1, top tier.
Yeah,
they've shown that they deserve to be in tier 1 today, I think.
Yeah, well, I mean, 100%. But hopefully, you will be able to commentate with either me or Jonah in the near future,
Yes.
where you.
Yes, and you will be able to hear me next time for the record. Don't worry.
I think the race leader is looking to want a interview, so I will invite him. Rudy's the only one active so far, so we'll see. I got a. I've got to add Rudy first because he cannot join unless he is added. If you just want to message Cam and Robbie, yeah, you will invite him, yeah?
Yeah.
Of course, mate. I'll send an invite to Robbie as well, just in case he does want to join. I'm going to send an invite to Rudy, the race winner. So I'll find him on my friends list now.
Where is there?
Yeah. Hello boys, how are you?
Hello.
So, we'll just wait to see if Robbie wants to join. If not, we will get these interviews started. But how did you find that race, guys?
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah?
Tricky.
Yeah, I mean, safety car did mess up your strategies quite a bit, in my opinion, but it did also help you guys out, so... We'll see if Robbie wants to join.
Joining us. Let's see. Yeah, he does appear to be offline right now on Discord. Oh no,
He has joined. Yeah, he is here.
He's here.
All right, so we're I'll tell you what. We'll start the interview off with you, Cameron.
Yep.
You drove a brilliant race, to be fair. How did you think? What was your thoughts when when the first safety car came out?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. It actually kind of saved me because I crashed with Chiro in at turn 1 and I lost my whole thing. So the first safety car kind of saved me, to be honest.
Yeah.
And then I think second safety car kind of ruined me a bit. I reckon I would have done a bit better without it, but it is what it is. But to be honest, it made for some better racing, the second safety car, so I'm not really complaining about it, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I saw you got a 3-second time penalty late in the race. If not, you was fighting for the win, really, weren't you?
Yeah. But I don't think I was fighting for the win. I think I would have got P2.
P2, yeah.
If I didn't get to 3 seconds, but it is what it is. It's on the preseason, it is.
Yeah, well, you drove a brilliant race. Well done, mate.
Yeah, thank you.
Yusuf, if you want to do Rudy now, if he's ready.
So mate, Rudy, our race winner from today. So, how do you think your race went? Obviously, you won the races and managed to drive them yourself, but how was it from your perspective?
Yeah, it was a interesting race, definitely. With safety car early on, I had a very poor qualifying, so I messed up my final lap. So starting 7th, start wasn't good either. And then just, yeah, with lots of crashes happening, then the safety car came out exactly at the right time for me, so I could go to the mediums. I didn't have a strategy, to be honest. Just, I mean, it's only precision. I haven't done a lot of practice, like nobody really sweated for this race. So, yeah, I didn't really know the strategy, so I went to the mediums, and they worked very well at the start. To restart, I got some positions, and then, yeah.
So what was going through your mind then, that late safety car, with only a few laps to go? I think it really gave you the opportunity to really effort in and, get that victory that you got in the end. You obviously kept well routine as well, compared to the other drivers. I think you were one of the only people to not get a penalty there, so yeah, very good race from yourself.
Yeah, I thought I didn't really have the pace because they were putting away from me, especially the first stint, but they also had DRS. But once I saw they were picking up penalties, I mean, it gave me a bit more confidence that I did have the pace. Because I was pushing, but I was keeping it clean and showed those guys were maybe overdriving a bit, which, yeah, maybe gained them some time. Yeah, they were probably really on the limit, and I was as well, of course, but I was also trying to keep it clean. Yeah, this penalty saved me once again, so yeah, very good start.
Well, congrats on that victory, mate. You had an amazing ride. That's all from me, but do you have any other questions, Robbie?
No, I just want to go straight into talking to Robbie, because Robbie, you drove excellently that whole race from P1 to P1 on track, but those penalties unfortunately made you drop down to P2. How are you feeling after that one?
Not really pleased obviously, but a few dodgy warnings that happened is what it is. I actually thought my base was really good around here. I haven't really practiced, so didn't expect much, especially with guys like Cameron and Nolan. But yeah, base was really good actually.
Yeah, well, I mean, me and Yusuf were both hyping you up in the stream. We were constantly saying how you're showing your dominance already, just in pre-season really. Obviously, Spain is a track that not many like, but you really are trying to. What are you aiming for this season? Are you aiming to go back to back on championships, or?
That is the plan, but obviously the grid is a lot quicker, so
Yeah.
we just have to take it race by race and see what happens.
Exactly, mate. Yusuf, do you have any questions for Robbie?
Just want to ask, have you got like an L plan for the season?
No, I'm just taking it race by race, see what happens.
Yeah. Alright, that's all from me though.
Yeah, well, great race from both of you. Robbie, unfortunate you got those 2 penalties, but Rudy, you drove amazingly. You deserved the win. Unfortunate for you, Robbie, but well done for both of you.
Yep. Yeah, cheers.
Yeah, amazing job, boys.
Anyway, that will be the end of this stream. So make sure to tune in next time for SBR Tier 1 Round 1 in Portugal. It should be a very interesting one, seeing the pace from today.
Who knows, you might even hear me next week, but yeah, who knows.
Yeah. Alright, we'll see you all later.